Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We're going to be using the Vyrus 986 M2 from the year 2017, and this is part of the DLC pack, The Collector's Group. Now we're here in career mode in Phillip Island, doing just one lap. It's a time attack session, a target time attacker session that is, as we use the southern loop for this Vyrus, rocking the Casey Stoner helmet, because of course it makes sense, right here in Phillip Island, and of course the next motorcycle we're going to use is going to have a Casey Stoner themed livery. So now going into the right hand side for Honda for turn 4, beautiful corner to navigate. I'm a big fan of Phillip Island, probably one of my most favourite tracks. Looking forward to doing this in career mode in our MotoGP 21 career. But for the time being we have jumped back onto Ride 4 just to do the DLC and just continue on with the weekly challenges. I haven't been doing the DrAce weekly challenges because I've just been so busy with MotoGP 21, and I've got to be honest, I don't feel as confident on Ride 4 as I used to. I do feel like I've lost my touch a little bit. It looks okay, like I'm still getting decent lap times, but I'm not as fast and not as smooth as I once were. But fingers crossed in the future, when maybe MotoGP 21 sort of dies down a bit, Ride 4 will rise again from the ashes, continue with DLC content, and just blow our minds. So we still have plenty to get through on Ride 4, but of course we have a massive amount to get through on MotoGP 21. So of course we'll be returning back with that on Wednesday. Now across the line we go, and I think that's easily done for this Vyrus challenge. So we now move over to Monza using the Honda RC213 VS with a Repsol Casey Stoner inspired livery, and now we start from the middle of the group. I'm going to go full throttle here and see if I can keep up with the main boys, because of course it's been a while since we last competed on Ride 4, and I'm very curious to see if we can keep up with the AI as always. As we break up on the inside, not quite, he's going to go around the outside. Elia is around the outside, beautifully done for the Italian. She now goes into the top spot. Cha AI is behind us. Cha A is in third place, the Chinese man, as we rock this Repsol Honda with the Casey Stoner number. Can't remember who made this, but my goodness, they did a fantastic job. As we now try and go around the outside of Elia. He's going to get close. Oh, a little bit of contact there as well. Oh my goodness, last of the late breakers goes the Italian up into the very Antidella Roja. Now onto the right hand side for turn 5, coming around the outside for Lesmo 1. It looks like we've made that move stick already. And we go into Lesmo 1. Oh, contact made! A whopping amount of contact between the Italian and DrAce there as we get on the right hand side of the tyre for Lesmo 2. Get onto the rumble strip, so close enough to, and give it full throttle. So I've got to say, my review so far of this motorcycle is absolutely brilliant. It handles extremely well. I'm really impressed with it, and I'm really pleased that I jumped back onto Ride 4 to give this DLC pack a bit of a go. There's some decent bikes in there, but there's not many bikes I'd really want to use that often. This one being one of them, I would definitely use this quite a lot, as we use a massive amount of speed there, straight underneath the sign, and straight ahead, we're up into the lead, ahead of Elia Gargiulo. Now going into the final corner, taking it steady somewhat as, oh my goodness, the Chinese man out of absolutely nowhere has just decimated himself. What on earth was that? I didn't even see him coming up behind. As we use a lot of speed now. I wish they were a little bit quicker in the corners, but never mind, because DrAce is absolutely flying, crossing the line with a chunky lead, about 0.5 of a second. Easy stuff for the British rider. So now braking just above the 200 metre marker. This is even with slick tyres, but it's still a little bit late to brake there, and I'm so used to the MotoGP style braking right now that I find it difficult to stop the motorcycle in Ride 4. Because you can be so much more aggressive on Ride 4 compared to MotoGP. If you brake like you do on Ride 4 to MotoGP, you'll probably have a bad time. And I'm finding it the opposite way now of using MotoGP tactics right here in Ride 4. It feels off somehow. But still, I really like the way this game feels. I like the difference in bikes, and I think the way I'm going to look at it is like when a MotoGP rider will probably go on a normal bike and go for a bit of a test ride. It will feel different, and it will feel completely alien sometimes, but at the same time it should still feel comfortable. And the bikes on Ride 4 still do feel comfortable for me, it's just that I don't feel like I'm as quick. So it's kind of put me off a little bit from continuing on with making some content, and of course we're just so busy with MotoGP 21 right now. The career mode is going absolutely spiffingly, and I intend to keep that trend going, let's say. Because of course the commentary for the Grand Prix in MotoGP is so much more interesting for me than doing it with the AI here in Ride 4, because I don't know these people in Ride 4, and of course they're just made-up names, of course, as we have Andrea De Vecchi behind us and Justin Schulman. What happened to Elia? She was with us a moment ago and then nowhere to be seen as we enter the curve of Parabolica for the second time of asking. Full acceleration now, giving it 110%. I am curious to see what kind of lead we can get here in Monza. Now, Monza not being my most favourite track, I do find it a little bit boring sometimes, especially when you get to the front and just decimate the field like we are doing now. So again, braking around the 220 to 225, 230 metres mark. Onto the right-hand side for turn 1, flick it left turn 2, and a nice smooth acceleration out of there. Still accelerating like I was on MotoGP, quite smooth, quite gentle. You can be a little bit more aggressive on Ride 4. And I do still run traction control on 0, anti-wheelie on... I think anti-wheelie on this one might be on 2, engine brake is on 0 as well. Which I think that's because I did the last time trial challenge, which... Was that Macau? I think so. I think that was Macau. I don't think anyone beat that lap time in Macau, which I didn't expect, because I imagined everyone at that point would have already moved on to MotoGP 21, and that seems very, very realistic in what actually happened. As we go into Lesmo 2 for turn 7. Nice acceleration out here. I do find that Lesmo 2 is one of my most smoothest corners. I think it always looks the same no matter which lap I do. I think that actually the first lap I did was a little bit out of shape, but for the rest of it seemed to be okay. So again, braking 200 metre marker for the Variante Ascari, and that is pretty nice to navigate towards those rumble strips, but not necessarily on them. I thought that was my best job of keeping away from rattling on top of them until the end. I think I like to get the last one, because you're coming out at such speed, you can pick up the motorcycle just gradually, hit the rumble strip, and then just continue to push forward. As we now brake underneath the Motul sign for the Parabolica, we're going to run it a little bit wide here, but you can still do that sort of V-shaped line over, a bit of a longer sort of line for us that time, but it's still okay. Up by 1.8 seconds, so there doesn't seem to be any sort of concern coming from behind. We'll cross the line in a moment's time. We do improve to 1:44.152, so in my calculations that's an improvement per lap. We're now on to the penultimate lap, and of course we lead by a good 2 seconds over Andrea De Vecchi. Justin Schulman behind, not quite sure how far behind he is, as it seems that Chinese man that went for the kamikaze attack earlier on into the Parabolica is down in 12th place. I've got to say, Monza might be growing on me when I can chuck in the faster lap times and just continue to be consistent, but at the same time it's still not my favourite track. As we go into turn 4, flick it right for turn 5, and then full acceleration coming out of that corner. But I've got to say, big thumbs up from me for the Honda RCV, or the Honda RC213VS. I am very impressed. The liveries that people have shared on the editing gallery, etc., is absolutely gorgeous. Some really great renditions of Danny Pedrosa's motorcycle, Casey Stoner's, and I think there's even a couple of Marquez ones in there as well. There's some absolutely god-awful ones too, but as always, that seems to be the case. For some reason, there's always like adult content versions of bikes, and I never understand why. Like, who really wants to have a adult website on your bike? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But I guess if you want that, that's what you want to do on your Honda RC213V. Why not? Who am I to judge? So going into the Parabolica, it's just gone 7 minutes past 10 here in Monza. 21 degrees in the air. I do miss saying that as in MotoGP 21. It's not something I actually mention very often. The old weather and temperature. But of course, going into Monza's final lap, we are leading by a massive amount, and we actually improve again there, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 1:44.082. So braking, as always, into 220 metres away from the corner turn 1. We are in a little bit wide there, almost gained ourselves some deeply, deeply concerning penalty. I don't miss the penalties, I'll be honest with you. MotoGP 21's long lap penalty system is way better, of course, but I do understand that it wouldn't make sense into Ride 4. Because these are more like track days and stuff like that, just Grand Prix in club circuits, rather than actual Grand Prix events sometimes. So 5,000 of a second down on our Sector 1 time. Very curious to see if we can continue that, or at least go close enough to improve on the final lap. Now onto the right hand side for Lesmo 1. A little bit wide there, not as clean as I would have wanted. As we now brake on the white line, to then brake into Lesmo 2, and then rocket it out onto the rumble strips. I'll just kiss the rumble strip. Next towards the Motul sign and the TIM, continue to push forward, get ready again at about 200 metre zone, and we'll start braking once again. There it goes, 200 metre, brake, all front brake, full on lock on the front brake, only a tad of rear brake if you require it. Flick it to the right, flick it to the left of the Ascari, get onto the rumble strip and continue to push. Oh, a bit of a wheelie coming out of that corner. And a habit I've always done is if I go too close to the corner or touch a line and get a penalty and wheelie or something and just lose a significant amount of speed, I'll always have a quick look behind me just to make sure that I'm not going to be hindering anyone's performance. I do that on MotoGP all the time, and I still do it to this day on Ride 4. So full acceleration now, charging towards the line. This is going to be a magnificent victory. I'm pleased with this one so far. As we now go across the line, we didn't manage to improve, so unfortunately our 5 laps of improvement has come to an end. But guys, that's going to be it from me. Happy with this DLC pack so far. It's about £4 on the Steam store, so why not check it out? So that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And upon that note, guys, thanks for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.